And just like that, we're back. Section 400, Matt, Jack, and Brian bringing you along. Championship Sunday recap. The NFC, the AFC is over. We have our Super Bowl, and it is the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in a rematch of 2022. The Eagles make it back the second time in 3 years. We come back loaded up with a fired-up defense under Vic Fangio and Saquon Barkley. Brian, I can't even start to think what's going through your mind. We were blessed with Saquon Barkley in first year Super Bowl appearance. We saved him, man. I mean, he was going to die in New York.
This year started, or at least this football season started, with me boycotting week 1 of football because Saquon Barkley was a Philadelphia Eagle. Now it's going to end with possibly watching Saquon Barkley run into the end zone and then have confetti fall on him after they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know the MVP is a regular season award, but my Lord, Saquon Barkley, if you take into this postseason what he's done, easy MVP when it comes to what's been happening throughout this postseason, carries them. Game 1, game 2, game 3. He's got 5 touchdowns, heading into the Super Bowl now. Basically 200 yards in every single game. Might have to fact check me on that, but the dude just runs all over everyone through, around. He's been incredible. And yeah, Matt, you guys definitely have revived his career because he was just on a downward trajectory in New York.
I don't blame him for this at all, but I really think he was on cruise control for the last 2 seasons in New York after Daniel Jones paid him. And now he's off and he's in full gear. And you're seeing these runs, and I'm just sitting here like, Joe Schmo.
It's the same thing that happened with Derrick Henry. I mean, these guys get a new opportunity in a new place and it rejuvenates them. I mean, think about where Derrick Henry was with Tennessee. They're still trying to figure stuff out with Will Levis. We've seen how that went this year. They have the #1 overall pick. He's very happy he got out of there, even though Baltimore didn't, advance to the Super Bowl and all that. Same thing, Josh Jacobs with the Packers now. Yeah, he was in Las Vegas with the Raiders playing with Aiden O'Connell. No one wants to, you get complacent. You don't have that extra drive to go break a tackle and gain an extra 3 yards because what does it matter? You got Aiden O'Connell who's going to throw an interception on the next play. Now he gets to play with Jordan Love. Saquon with Jalen Hurts in this offense. I'm not an Eagles fan by any means. You guys know that, but I'm happy for Saquon.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. I'll let you go, Brian. This is just fun watching you have to get through this.
It sucks because I'm happy for Saquon.
Right.
But I hate that he's on the Eagles. I like Saquon. I like watching him run and break and score 2 touchdowns on his first 2 touches of the NFC Championship game and run through the Commanders' defense. That's cool. He just happens to be on the Philadelphia Eagles, and I hate the Eagles, and I hate that he's scoring touchdowns for them. But he's such a cool player. He's such a good guy. I want to root for Saquon Barkley.
Dude, everything 100% agree with. And I know there's a lot of rash on Twitter for Saquon with the Giants fans, but I think most of them have that take that you have, right? Is they want to root for the guy. He's an incredible athlete, something we haven't seen before, and we're finally seeing when you put some good pieces around him, especially an offensive line, how incredibly awesome and just superhuman athlete almost. And it's, the Giants fans just kind of have to sit there and take it, and there's nothing they can do to soothe the pain. And if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, which I hope and think they will, it's I don't know how much worse it can get for Giant fans if that is the capitalization of the season, Saquon Super Bowl, and have to sending the guy out.
Yeah, thank God Dak Prescott has the personality of a cell block wall, because I love Jayden Daniels and I love Saquon Barkley, and they're both in the NFC East, but at least I could still hate everyone on the Cowboys. The calendar is flipped to 2025, and that means one thing: the sports action is heating up. And the best place to go to get tickets to playoff football, meaningful basketball games, and maybe some baseball soon is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the official sponsor of the Views from Section 400 podcast. Whether you're going to watch some Auburn Tigers play at Neville Arena, best team in college basketball, if you want to see the Birds probably choke in the playoffs at the Link, or maybe you want to buy some early spring training tickets for the spring, SeatGeek is the best place to go. Their one-of-a-kind platform makes finding the best deals easy. Use our code VIEWSFROM400 at checkout for $20 off your first purchase. Again, that's code VIEWSFROM400 at checkout. You get $20 off your first purchase. That's a free beer and maybe some crab fries, maybe a hot dog on us. It's a great deal. Use our code. SeatGeek, your best night ever is waiting. Like,
Side note, you guys think, as we're exiting out of the college football season, shout out Ohio State, you guys think Saquon Barkley goes down as the greatest Penn State football player ever?
I don't know the list of legends that played there early days, 90s,
I,
2000s,
I don't
but
either. But you
I don't
have
even know his college stats. I know they're really good, but I have no idea.
they definitely don't have, unless I'm forgetting somebody crazy, they don't have a quarterback that had big NFL success. They've probably had some linebackers, but like if Saquon Barkley wins 3 rings with the Eagles, he will be the greatest football player to come out of Penn. 2 rings with the Eagles, he'll be the
not
greatest
winning
football player.
3 rings with the Eagles, Brian. Relax.
Well, here
If
here
they
we
get a
go.
quarterback for him, then
He
he
might
could.
get one this year. Like, let's
Dude,
pump the
like
brakes on
I'm gonna
three
stop you
rings.
right there, Brian. Jalen Hurts had 4 total touchdowns today.
Yeah, he had
Like over
3
250
rushing because
yards
of the tush
passing.
push.
Like, okay, that's still 4 total touchdowns. Like, I don't
It
understand. Like,
is,
Jalen
but
Hurts is a good quarterback.
Jalen Hurts is a fine quarterback. He's an average quarterback.
He's
I think he
above
holds them
average.
back a little bit, and if you give him a great quarterback, then they're that
I
much better. I don't think Jalen Hurts is
Uh,
bad. I think he's average, and
I
that's
think
fine. He's fine for the Eagles.
he's better than average. But whatever. To get back to the Penn State one, I know we're jumping all over the place. I think Franco Harris went to Penn State. So would Franco Harris be better than Saquon? I don't know. Didn't he win a shit ton of
He
titles with
he
the
won a
Steelers?
more than a few
Yes.
rings with the Steelers. Yeah,
Yes, he did.
So it would
Jack
probably be
Ham,
him.
He's a
Kerry Collins is like the
oh Pug
best
Leslie,
quarterback.
that's your
Kerry
guy, right?
Hardly,
Jaguar
hardly
legend, dude. That guy carved out a nice career.
a captain, defensive captain, man in the center.
Yeah, unless
Yeah,
there's somebody I'm missing, dude. The
you said Kerry
quarterback.
Collins, right? That's
Yeah.
probably their best quarterback.
Yeah, so it's Saquon Barkley. This wasn't supposed to be that deep.
Allen
Right.
Robinson, your guy again. A lot of
Chris
Jaguars.
Chris Godwin.
Couple good years.
Yeah, but we don't have to go too far down that. But no, man. I mean, look, the Commanders came in. It was a circus clown show the whole time. Like, dude, come on. The Jayden Daniels run, rookie quarterback. Like, just it was. I'm so glad it was an absolute blowout, and the NFL got to see that. Calm down, dude. The questions by the media all week about Jayden Daniels this, Jayden Daniels that. Is he going to come into South Philly? He could do it. All the other rookie QBs have lost, but Jayden Daniels the one who can get it done. Get Dan Quinn, Jayden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury, send them back to frickin' Baltimore or Washington, wherever the frick they're from. It was a clown show. They thought they were coming into Philadelphia and leaving, going to the Super Bowl. I'm so glad we got to see that in full force, and the Eagles just absolutely dominate, and put the Jayden Daniels crap to bed. Nail in the coffin. We'll see you next year, pal.
Yeah, well, you will see him next year because he's going to be very good next year. I agree with you to an extent. I think the hype
Come
around the
on, I'm
Commanders
not that crazy.
the hype around the Commanders as a whole was very overblown. Jayden Daniels
Overblown.
played well enough to win that football game. It wasn't on him.
It
Well,
wasn't this
I
like incredibly incredible outstanding game by the guy.
It wasn't an outstanding performance, but he was the reason that they stayed alive for at least the first half and kept it competitive. But look, I don't think that the Commanders really got that much hype. I mean, they came into this game as huge
Yeah.
underdogs. They did.
They, I guess,
Dan Quinn had to give the pregame speech of, I don't want you guys thinking we're playing with house money right now. Like, we're a good football team. We deserve to be here.
I'm talking about the media though, like the national media.
But I'm saying Dan Quinn had to talk to his players like that in response to how the media was talking about it. The media was talking about it like, look at this amazing run the Commanders are on with this rookie quarterback. Jayden Daniels doing things that have never been done before. They shouldn't be here, beating the number 1 seed Detroit Lions. Like, Everyone was talking like this is a Cinderella story for them, and
I understand
quite,
that, but the
quite honestly, it was.
extra special attention was put on Jayden Daniels. They tried to create this narrative that he was going to come into South Philly and win, and it didn't
Said that?
happen.
Who expected that? No one
NFL
I
expected
Network.
that.
I think you're overblowing this a little bit. Where I see it is listening to the talking heads down here and all the fans down here and the people that took over Philly by going to the Hard Rock Cafe and renting it out for like 30 people. They expected to beat the Eagles. I think
Yeah.
the national media was creating a story from a
Sorry,
great
I shouldn't
underdog
say
story,
expect, but yeah, they were creating the story, and
which they
that's what
should.
you're.
That's how they're going to get people to watch the
I get
game.
it. I'm still allowed to shit on it because they got fucking shit pumped in the championship game.
You are. I think that what this game really showed us was the Commanders aren't ready yet. And I said this about I think on last Sunday's show. I said this reminded me a lot of the Mets run this year, where the team wasn't that talented, but they got hot at the right time, and then they ran into a buzzsaw like the Dodgers, and they got bounced. And that's
Let
what
me
kind
ask
of
you
happened
this,
here.
Brian. Let me ask you this. What was the Commander gimmick this year?
The
Just the new
rookie
owner,
quarter, just the
the
rookie
new
quarterback.
owner, and then the fact
Rookie
that he also
quarterback.
owns
Yeah,
rookie
actually, yeah,
quarterback.
that's a great point. New owner, new GM, new head coach, new OC, new quarterback. The whole nine.
It's the new regime. Just getting rid of the Dan
Totally new
Snyder curse
regime.
is what they called it.
It was like winning in spite of Dan Snyder
Yeah.
kind of deal. They had that little extra juice. All right, I'll give you that one. Um, yeah, I don't have much more, man. I mean, there's obviously a lot to celebrate. I'm in Philly right now. The streets are on not on fire, but people are out celebrating. It's
Oh,
10:30 at night, and the cities are going berserk.
I saw the police get called and to clear out Broad Street.
Yeah,
That looked like a lot of fun.
yeah. Broad Street is going nuts right now. I'm a responsible human and have work in the morning, so being out there right now. The Super Bowl will be a different story. But yeah, for me, and I understand the celebrating and the celebration, but like this is now a rematch. We know what happened when we played this team in the Super Bowl last time. Like I'm just not going to get ahead of myself. I feel very confident and that much more confident having Saquon Barkley coming into the game with us. I like our defense a lot better than I did in 2022. James Bradbury's nowhere to be found, which is a good thing. And they've reloaded with some young rookie defensive guys. I'm a lot more confident, but I'm going to remain, cautious. I'm not going to get out ahead of myself. I'm not going to say anything outrageous that'll jinx them. But yeah, they almost a 30.55 burger blowout in the NFC Championship game. This Chiefs team, I don't think is as good as the 2022 team, even though they only had one loss this year. But I feel really good about going into this game against the Chiefs and knocking off Mahomes, finally getting it done. I really do.
It's hard to feel bad when you set a playoff record for rushing touchdowns in a game.
Yeah,
It
And one of
is.
those touchdowns came from Will Shipley.
Yeah. I mean, looked unbelievable too in the limited time he got.
yeah,
The
he had
Eagles have a lot of depth. They have a lot of depth. They're a really good team. Um, you know, defense depth all over the field with D backs, and obviously, the D line's starting to come alive. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna remain cautious and not get crazy. But we can dive into this Bills Chiefs game because was it an instant classic? I guess the end wasn't as dramatic as maybe we hope it would be. We hope maybe Josh Allen would have got that 4th and 5 and propelled the Bills to make it a little more cinematic at the end. But they didn't. Chiefs ended up getting it done 32-29. But yeah, I mean, what a game. Bills showing that they're not good enough. Bills, Ravens, the whole nine, not good enough to take down Patty Mahomes.
yeah, Mahomes and Andy Reid. Uh, they're not getting beat. They haven't gotten beat in 3 years now. I don't expect it to happen. I know you're going to be rooting for your Eagles, but you cannot bet against them at right now. If the Chiefs end up losing that Super Bowl, I will eat that loss. But I would rather have that happen than bet against Mahomes and just look at myself silly in the mirror saying, "What are you doing betting against a dude who hasn't lost in 3 fucking years?" Like it's just.
Yeah.
They're him. You want to talk about the reps, you want to talk about this, that, they make the plays. I mean, Patrick Mahomes pulls a 15-yard rushing touchdown out of his boot. No one expected that to happen. They flashed the stat 0 rushing yards against Buffalo in week 11, 45 and a touchdown and 2 touchdowns,
Two.
excuse
Yep.
me, tonight against the Bills. So yeah, that's just Andy Reid and his mastermind and what he can do. People are going to look back at this Eagles Chiefs championship from 2 years ago. It's really not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. A lot of the roster is, carryover, but this game is going to be played way different. The Chiefs have a way better defense. What was the final score of that last game? Like 35-32 or something like that?
What, the first Super Bowl?
First Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was 38-35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70.
Probably would have got tied up and went to overtime if that holding call on Bradbury didn't get called. But obviously we know what happened there. So it could have been even crazier ending, but the
Yeah.
refs
So
had their say in that.
we're looking at
It's
70
a
points
hold,
in that
man.
game. I can't expect 70 points to happen in this year's, even though the Eagles offense is electric, AJ Brown can't be stopped, Saquon Barkley can't be stopped. This Chiefs defense is legit and they've been winning these close one-score games all season. So I can't shy away from the Chiefs.
Yeah, I always
Yeah,
kind of rolled my eyes at people, especially on Twitter, that say the Chiefs have some black devil magic going on, along with the refs. And then I saw Juju Smith-Schuster and Kareem Hunt running down the field today. Juju, I don't know where that came from, but he was pulling off 30-yard catch and runs. And Kareem Hunt, who he's looked washed all year. He looked like he was running before he decided to commit a bunch of felonies. Like he looked like rookie Kareem Hunt.
yeah.
I don't
It's
know, like
Dude, he didn't want to catch a case. You got to outrun the case.
Yeah, it's exactly what he did today. But no, I mean, dude, the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. It, they played in a lot of one-score games this year, even all the way down to the Panthers. So,
they've won their last 17 one-score games now.
yeah, so it's not going to be easy. The Eagles in that other Super Bowl went in with a 10 point lead at halftime, and the Chiefs came right back. So any type of lead, I would not feel safe in this game. Any like close game, it's going to be a nervous game. Um, and it's unfortunate that it has to be Patrick Mahomes.
I would hope it would be a nervous game. I would have to check your pulse if you weren't
Yeah.
nervous during this game.
Nah, yeah, obviously, but I don't know, man. I feel a lot better, like I said, than I do in 2022. The problem is it's Patrick Mahomes, and that's kind of the bottom line for me.
That should be
Yeah,
the bottom line, yeah.
it's Patrick Mahomes going for a three-peat.
Yeah, which I don't, does the NFL want that? I don't know. Do they want the Taylor Swift show? I don't know.
I'm uh
Probably.
I'm definitely like discrediting the Chiefs as a whole with this statement right here, but this is sort of parallel to the college football championship we just had. You've got the better quarterback and the better head coach on the Chiefs, like you did Notre Dame, going up against like the better all-around team. And I know it's a little disrespectful to the Chiefs here, but when you look at the Eagles roster, they got the running back, they got the O-line, they got the receivers, like they got the pieces around there to do it. And we want to match them up on paper. I think I might give it to the Eagles outside of the coach and quarterback. Brian, you look at me like I'm crazy right now.
Well, yeah, I can't
What
believe
it first of all,
you compared Riley Leonard to Patrick Mahomes.
Well, if we're gonna go Riley Leonard against Will Howard
I
and
think I
like
take Will
Patrick,
Howard, but I think it's
I
very
would take Riley
close.
Leonard. I like Riley Leonard.
See, I think the fact we have that conversation and now you're putting Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes in that
All
kind of
right,
comparison, I think
all
that
right.
is extremely disrespectful.
Look, you just blew up my whole spot, but I think after watching what we saw from Riley Leonard in this college football playoff, to say that he's not, him is kind of disrespectful.
We had an Italian kid come in the game, and everyone was clamoring for him to play the rest of the game because he looked better than Riley Leonard.
It was one try.
yeah,
One try.
I,
No tape
yeah,
on him.
I look. Well, to leave the college. That season's over. I understand what you're trying to do there, Jack, but I
We didn't like
uh,
it. I get
I
it. I
don't
get
want, I
it.
don't
It's
want to get
cool. It's
well.
cool. We
I
I
didn't
like
like
the
it.
just
thought. I like the
I
thought.
like
The
the
execution
thought,
wasn't there.
but I didn't think Riley Leonard was all that good, and maybe I just didn't see enough.
He wasn't that
of
good.
of him in the college playoff, but
What were
like
you two watching where you
even
go
the
say
games
he's
they
not that
won,
good?
well the
I think
games
he was good in the way Jalen Hurts. Like, he had a dual threat capability, and he was a very good runner, and he could throw the ball enough. But he
He's
wasn't.
Superman some of those games.
yeah, I think you're like overhyping Riley Leonard here.
I didn't know you were such a big Riley Leonard
Yeah,
fan.
like dude, you like love the guy. You're like he's him. Like I don't know that that's like an accurate
He won some of those
thing
games
to
for Notre
say.
Dame.
I believe. I believe when we had
Sure.
this recap, I said it was the Daniel Jones I could throw against the Daniel Jones I could run, and I still believe that. I don't think Riley Leonard is that much better than what Daniel Jones is, I guess, because we
Well,
know what he is.
I'm not going to make that claim either because we were talking about college ball. I'm not going to say that Riley Leonard has any shot in the NFL.
Okay, but you thought he's really good. Now you got to
You
back up your guy.
you're a
As a
big
college quarterback,
you're a big
what
Riley
he did
Leonard
in the
guy.
playoff, dude. Now we're talking about NFL. Like we're comparing to Daniel Jones, like his NFL career. Like
Well,
if you
Daniel
You
want
Jones
to
was
said he's
barely an
him.
if
NFL
you want to
quarterback,
compare
but
Riley Leonard's college career to Daniel Jones's college career, you're out of your damn mind.
no, yeah, Riley Leonard was definitely better.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying
So
like their ceilings. I think a good comparison for Riley Leonard is like a Cardell Jones, except he couldn't get it done.
Dude, this is a crazy conversation.
Yeah,
Although
that
Cardell
I'm
Jones couldn't
so
really run.
I know who Cordell is, and I'm out on this now. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, where we're Bills Chiefs.
Well, I mean, yeah, we were on Bill's Chiefs, got down to like Riley Leonard to like Cardell Jones comparisons. I really don't know how we go on these rabbit holes. It's wild how they spew
It's views
off.
after dark.
It's views
yeah,
after dark,
that's what
and that's
happens
what
when
we
we got to
get up
record at
here.
10:45.
Yep, views after dark. Love it. But yeah, super. I mean, look, we can, I guess, we'll jump away from the Super Bowl for just a sec. We'll talk about the Jaguars' new head coach, and then maybe we'll finish it off with a little Super Bowl. But that did drop amidst all the championship stuff going on. The Jaguars snuck that one in there. Pretty wild story. Not super wild, but just kind of weird how things went down. Jack, I'll let you kind of take it away and give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so I mean, for the many folks out there and our fans and listeners out there who don't care about Jaguar football at all, I'll just explain the saga to you real quick as I can. We finished the season. We fired Doug Peterson, our head coach. Our owner, Shad Khan, says we're going to keep our general manager, Trent Baalke, around. Trent, go get Ben Johnson, go get Liam Coen. One of those two guys need to be our next head coach. He failed to do so. Ben Johnson signed to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Liam Coen withdrew his name from the Jaguars head coaching candidacy and said, "I'm going to go be the offensive coordinator of the Bucks, become the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league." So what happened after that? Shad Khan goes, "Trent, look, you failed your job. You gotta go. I told you go get one of these two guys. You couldn't do it. You're out." And then what happens, one podcast recording later, 24 hours later, Liam Coen back in the building. He's going to be our next head coach. Look, simple as that. He not only is he going to be our next head coach, which I'm pumped about, he got Trent Baalke out of the building. I'm ecstatic. He's already 1 for 1 on his moves as the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach, and he didn't even have to do one of them.
Yeah,
So
well, the
I'm
Jaguars did
I'm
get a
pumped.
new GM as well. They hired the guy, I don't know, some 39-year-old, right?
Did we already get a guy?
I'm pretty sure they hired a
It, I,
GM.
I, I was assuming that Liam Cohen was going to announce who it was on his presser tomorrow.
Yeah, they're still looking.
Oh, so maybe
Um,
they just brought a guy in for an
they
interview.
revealed the top candidates.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't see us
So,
elect a GM, but tomorrow at 3:30, I believe it is, Liam Cohen's going to make his, initial presser to
right.
Jacksonville, to the office, to the fans, the staff, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I got the YouTube notification ringing. I'm pumped for that, so I'll be tuned in for that. I don't know if he's gonna announce who the GM is or not. I don't think that's where we will do that, but Hopefully that happens soon, and I want it to be someone that Cohen wants.
He'll probably announce the team's moving to London.
Brian, go to bed. Go to bed. You're done. No, you're done for the night. Go to bed.
Well, I think
Uh,
if we ever, and again, we can rabbit hole this. If we ever get a London franchise, I don't think it'll be a relocation of a current team. I think it'll be an extra expansion team. I don't see a relocation, but obviously Jaguars are the first team to go if that is to happen. But I don't think we'll see a current, like, not grandfathered in, but just like current team have a relocation. But I could see a London franchise. Logistical nightmare, but I could see it.
uh, uh,
Brian's convinced the Jaguars are going to London. They might keep
Not
increasing games and they'll play half their season over there.
Dude, he's already
But
got the mustache for London. Like he's already basically living in London.
who?
yeah,
Your owner.
Shad?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is.
what is
Yeah,
he
he loves
British?
London.
He's an English guy.
Yeah, he loves
He's
it.
got, he's got like
That's why he
soccer
brings it.
teams out there and investments out there. He's an English guy. Like, so what? He's not taking us out there.
He does every year. Gets rid of a game in Jacksonville.
Yeah, so what,
Don't
Brian?
they play multiple games in London?
Yes, we play 2 games out there. Our owner owns one of the stadiums out there. Like, whatever, I get it. It's cool. Like, we play 2 games out there. Like, it's benefited us in the past. Over the past 2 seasons, we're 3-1 out there. So
Yeah, you already got a bunch of home field advantage. Like you're
that's
already prepped to
cool.
move.
That's what I'm saying. We got home field advantage when we make our little homage out there every year, but we're not moving out there, Brian. We just signed the deal to build a brand new stadium. Should be coming within the next, you know, I've worked in the construction industry. They say 2 years. It'll probably be 3 or 4, but we'll see, man. But we're gonna get a brand new stadium downtown Jacksonville. It's gonna look a lot like SoFi, which I guess is cool. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but not really my vibe. Anyway, it's gonna be $1 billion stadium. We're we're getting out of the poverty franchise sort of echelon, and we're moving up in the world.
I don't know that
Oh,
giving yourself a new stadium gets you out of poverty.
it arguably put the Giants into more poverty.
It does put the Giants into more poverty. Look at fucking Met. Oh, excuse me. Look at MetLife. MetLife
Jet
is a
life.
gross stadium. It's
Yeah.
gross. It's not really
I
your
think it opened
fault.
in
It's always
2010.
dark and gross over
Yeah, it
there.
was '09.
Can't say
Yeah,
that
they,
for
Look,
they won the
they
Super
anything.
Bowl
got to
like right
put it
away,
out
and
there.
it's
You can't.
been
I mean, it'd be cool if they put like a stadium in New York City. I just don't know how you do that.
you
Yeah.
can't
But
fit it.
yeah, you
Well,
can't. Too
apparently
many.
apparently Steve Cohen wants to build a soccer stadium right next to Citi Field.
Yeah,
So
there's a little more room out there in where the Mets are.
yeah,
Like,
dude, LaGuardia is the biggest like headache of a property. Just get rid of LaGuardia and use JFK as the one airport and put the new stadium for the Giants and Jets right there.
Do you know what that
yeah.
would do to our air travel
Football is king.
economy? Like
It would.
you
It
can't
would.
just get rid of LaGuardia.
Yeah.
That's not a
Sure you
thing.
can.
No, you can't
That
just
is
do
too
that.
major of an airport to just like
Is it
wipe off
though?
the map. Yes.
Like you
Yes.
got Newark, you got JFK. There's enough
Yeah,
there.
JFK,
And it
LaGuardia, and
still gets
EWR
packed.
are all essential.
If you remove that entire airport, dude, Newark and JFK would be over flooded and like borderline like operations would just cease because like it just everything would get gooned up. I think that'd be a terrible idea to fulfill your sports
Well,
fandom.
New Jersey would
Elon
not stand for it.
Elon's making the high-speed rail, right? Just
I
that'll
don't know,
replace the
man.
airport. Apparently,
I
you could
don't
get to
know.
London in like 3 hours from New York now.
Yeah, I did see that, but that's not tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's probably years down the
Well,
line.
it's gonna
So
take a long time to bulldoze a whole airport and build a new stadium anyway.
I think, I might be safe to say that's a 0% chance.
I just don't want the planes flying over Citi Field anymore.
I know, man. It's definitely annoying. And I get annoyed when the Phillies play there, the handful of times per year. I can only imagine watching a Mets broadcast when they're on a 10-game homestand. And you got to listen to the planes taking off and
Terrible.
landing every like 30 seconds. So I got you there, but yeah, no, Jack, I think kind of to not summarize, but get one final take out of you is it's a victory hire because the GM's gone or the old GM's gone in search for a new one. I don't know much about this. What's his name? Liam Cohen.
Liam Coen.
I don't know much about him. I know the Bucks had a prolific offense, but at what point, and we always go back and say this, like where it's like a player's got to do it thing versus the coach being the main difference. I mean, I get it, Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., but I just don't think the Jaguars have the players for this like explosive, outstanding offense that they think they're going to get with this Liam guy. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good core. We'll see what we do as far as free agency goes. Christian Kirk is a free agent. I don't know what we plan to
Ingram.
do. What?
You might have to cut Evan Ingram. Isn't he a free agent?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind cutting Evan Ingram at this point. He's getting paid too much money. And we've got Brenton Strange. We've got guys. Say what you want. Say what you want.
I
Say
let
what you
out a
want.
He
little
didn't say
chuckle.
anything. He just
Say what you
chuckled
want.
a
We
little
got
bit.
Brenton
Yeah.
Strange,
I think look, not hating on the
BTK.
guy.
But
It's
we
just
have a lot of guys
funny
that
that's your replacement.
we have a lot of guys that are hitting free agency, but we also
Could
have
be
a ton
Tyler
of
Warren.
Yeah,
we have a ton of
that
that was that
dude,
that's that 44 on Penn State. That
Yep.
yeah,
was yeah, he's pretty good. So I
get
wouldn't
him
want
on
to
the
use
rookie deal.
a first round pick on him. I don't know when he's projected to go.
He'll probably go in the late first round.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I'm
But
not sure where, but
we've got a solid young core. Trevor was saying that he wanted a young offensive minded coach. So I know he's happy with the Liam Cohen pick. Um,
maybe you
we
can
have
get
a
the
ton
best
of
out of Lawrence, and maybe we see, kind of what the people were projecting when he got drafted of, what Trevor Lawrence can be. I don't think Brian's on that train, but I look, a switch up's a switch up. Trevor Lawrence is athletic. I don't think he's got it, but we'll
yeah,
see.
I said a few weeks ago, and you guys, obviously clown me for it. Fair enough, whatever. But I still believe it. I said it because I believe it. I'm not shying away from it now. I still don't think that we've seen the best of Trevor Lawrence yet. Yes, I know he led us from 28-0 down in the playoffs through 4 touchdowns and a comeback. I know it doesn't get much better than that, but I still don't think we've seen the best of him yet. And I do think that Liam Cohen, he's got this season, maybe next season, depending on, how this one looks, but two at the most before, Trevor Lawrence, we know what you are. This will be his third coaching regime. Not that that's something you really, want to have with a young quarterback, but at this point, we'll know. If you can't get it done with any of the three coaches, not that Urban really was a coach at all, but if you can't get it done in the next 2 years, show that you really are that guy and you start limiting some of the mistakes that you've been making for your first 4 years. It's make or break. I'm excited. That's what I'm excited about. Like Shad did a good job. He got a good enough coach where we're gonna know about Trevor Lawrence. And honestly, Brian can finally shut his mouth for,
Well, pump the brakes real quick. I don't mean
keeping it
to interrupt
PG.
you. I don't mean to interrupt you, but like, and you're not the only one who does this. A lot of people do it, but like, how do we know this is a good coach?
We don't.
You're like Khan got a good coach. It's like we have no idea what this
No,
guy's gonna
absolutely.
be.
Look, a good coach
Yeah.
relative to the market right now. You look at
Like,
the other coaches around. Ben Johnson was obviously number one, but Liam
right?
Coen was number two for us, and there's no doubt about that. The Cowboys just went and promoted Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah,
Still
that
went-
seems like a terrible play.
yeah,
They knew it was a terrible play. Jerry Jones is always desperate for attention, and they hired him at like 11 p.m. on a Friday.
yeah,
Yeah, he
just
just needs
ridiculous. He probably had like a couple
Cherry
of
needs the
whiskeys and
puppet in
like,
there,
yeah,
dude.
let's do it, Bry.
Yeah, I just like Trevor's probably been the only professional player on this show, I think, that I've really just ripped into in terms of saying he sucks. I don't think there's another guy out there. There might be that I'm forgetting, but
Jalen
I
Hurts.
really I called Jalen Hurts average. I didn't say sucks. I've like
The nerve
specifically
you
told
have to call Hurts average after the pitiful, piss poor quarterbacks that you've watched play over the last 5 years. And it's Jalen Hurts, two Super Bowls already, and still his pretty young career, touchdown machine, and really complementary to the offense. To say he's average, I think is wild. I really do think that's wild. And I get it,
Well,
but
I think the last part of that statement sums up Jalen Hurts. He's a complementary piece to the offense. He's not the best piece in their offense.
yeah, and I'm not saying all pro guy, but like to say average, I think is crazy. Jack,
Average isn't
am I
bad. It's
my nuts
average.
here?
I definitely think that, like, if you want to call him an average passer, I can understand that. But with what he brings with the tush push and with his legs running the football, extending plays, you can't call him average. He's above average for sure.
Right,
His
right.
escapability alone makes him above average. His
I
tush
think even
pushes alone, the rushing
I
touchdown,
think that
the
puts them
the
at average. I
the,
think
the
his
30,
passing's slightly
40
below average.
the 30 or 40
and
rushing touchdowns he's had over the past 2, 3 years, like that puts him above average. I don't think you can
right.
discount that.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't discount the stats, and I
I
get
do.
it, Brian. Like I get it. You want to like sit in this like narrative of like hating on Jalen Hurts, and that's
It's
fine.
not hating.
That's
He's
fine.
an above average running quarterback and a slightly below average passing quarterback. So he's
So
like,
by your
I'll
formula,
say
that makes
the
him
needle is
average.
pointing towards the upper side of average.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wouldn't call him above average. He's a top 15 quarterback.
And I think that's crazy, and I'm allowed to
Which
think
is
that.
above average.
Yeah, if he's like
I think, yeah, and I
15,
think you're
if
ripping
he's
on.
15, he's one better than the middle.
I think his
I'll call
passing
him that.
ability and the deep ball has gotten a lot better. He short armed a Hail Mary attempt in the Super
No,
Bowl,
he
and
can
this
throw the
narrative was
ball.
created that like the guy can't pass.
He can throw like physically he can throw the ball, but we saw it against the Rams and we see him like he had AJ Brown open multiple times today and he went off of him because he just made the wrong read or was scared to let the ball loose and then he throws the ball away. I
Right,
just
that's
don't
more of
think
a
he
mental thing than him being able to throw the ball downfield, but
yeah, playing
it's
quarterback
fine.
is mostly mental.
Yeah, but I also won't blame a quarterback. An NFL quarterback, I won't blame for, I have to refine this again. An established NFL quarterback, I will never blame for throwing the ball away. Like I watched Tom Brady do it so many times, it made me disgusted with
Yeah.
watching him.
But when
But
it's open and then you check off of it to throw the
of
ball.
course, that's different. You know, you miss your read. That's a whole other story. But I can't tell you how many times I watched Brady take a snap, look 1, 2, 3 reads, didn't have him, just threw it away, said, let's run another one. Like let's just run a new play. Let's get fresh routes.
Yeah.
Let's just do it again because he didn't have it and he just threw it away. He wasn't taking a sack. He wasn't doing this or that. I think that shows maturity by Hurt, so I'm not going to fault him for that.
As-
Uh,
Obviously,
I
obviously, you miss
okay,
the wide
maybe I'll
open
call him
guy. It's a
above
different
average. Like
story.
I'm
He's
just
definitely, I
so
just think average is not the right label for Jalen Hurts, especially like what we've seen, dude. The guy's record
yeah.
is unbelievable. The stats are unbelievable. Like tush push or not, he's getting touchdowns. It doesn't say tush push touchdowns. It says TDs and a number, and that number is very high,
I
elitely high.
I guess I'll put it this so in my brain, there's really three big tiers of quarterbacks. There's the quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson that are the best player on their offense or the reason their offense operates. Without them, their offense wouldn't work. Then there's the middle tier of guys that aren't a net negative or a net positive. They do good things, they do bad things. They can win football games, they can get you to a Super Bowl, and they're fine. They're good, some might say. They're not going to lose you games, they're not going to win you many games by themselves, and they're normally not the best player on their offense. And then there's the bad quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts fits that middle category a lot more than he fits that first category. That's what I'm trying to say.
I would agree with that if you're going to
Yeah,
bring it up
that's
into those categories, but he is far and away at the top of that middle tier.
That's
Um,
fine. I just not I don't think he's in
but
that top tier.
I I think with the weapons he has around him right now, it's really easy to say that he doesn't have to go above and beyond to win games, but he can. We've seen it. He can do that. The tush pushes, 3 rushing touchdowns today. Don't discount that. You know, he
It
does do
doesn't
things
say
to win
tush
his
push.
team games. He's
Yeah.
not handing the ball off to Saquon 30 times and calling it a day. He's doing it some things himself as well.
Okay, at the very, very just everything done. You have 2 minutes on the clock. You can pick any quarterback in the NFL. I don't think Jalen Hurts is in the top 10 of those quarterbacks.
And I
You're
actually am
losing.
glad you asked that question because I was going to say
Fair.
if you're a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, are you elite? And I think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Even if he's at number 10, I think he's in the top 10. And then if you're in the
I'm
top
gonna
10,
start thinking a list now.
I think that gets you elite status. No, it's a good conversation because it's relevant because guess what? Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl for the second time in the last 3 years. And I understand the other guys, or most of the other guys, have to go through Mahomes, but there's not enough quarterbacks there to leave Hurts out of the top 10.
I don't know if we can leave him out of the top 10, but what I will say is just because your top 10 does not make you elite, I think you can set that elite bar at really anywhere you want. And before this playoff run, I would have set the bar right after Justin Herbert. Now I might set it right before him after that horrible game he had against the Texans. But
Which
I have
is where? Is
Herbert.
that like seventh?
Off the top of my head, somewhere around there. I would have Herbert above Hurts. I would have Herbert above CJ Stroud.
I think they're all in the same category. So maybe top 10, like if you want to say top 10's elite, that's fine. I think the top whatever then. So there's
Ultra elite.
yeah,
Like,
there's
like
Mahomes,
if you're
there's
I
gonna
know
call
Burrow,
those
it's
there's
guys
there's no
Lamar.
real
elite,
scale of like actually doing it, but we can
right?
use our best sports judgment here
Because
to
the
I
point
think
is
that
place.
like
that
how are you gonna
exclusive
call
pack of quarterbacks. And
yeah,
then there's
how are you
yeah.
gonna call like the Jalen Hurts and the Justin Herberts elite if you're gonna call them elite, like what are you gonna call the Mahomes and the Josh Allens and the Burrows and Lamars? Like you gotta call them something even better because they're
Yeah,
not
and
on the same level.
that's my whole what when I say average,
Well, it's not.
those
You said
five,
average,
six,
and
whatever
he's
are
average
my
is
top.
not like
Average is the
average
middle, and then
sounds
there's
like
bad.
he's horrible.
Average
I
sounds
don't think
like
it does.
middle of the
Average is
pack,
fine.
15,
Yeah, average.
16.
Yeah,
We're
average is
talking about like
like
six quarterbacks right now that are in a separate tier.
I I don't think average is the middle. Like there's a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFL right now. I think that's what we're kind of forgetting here. Like there's a lot more bad quarterbacks in the NFL than are good. So it's not exactly split down the middle.
I understand, but you have to. There's only 32 teams, and whether the guy's really good or really bad, you got to put somebody at 15. You got to put somebody at 14, 13, and the list goes on and on. So
Yeah, I'm
that
just saying that it's
helps
not.
Hurts then I guess I don't know, but just the way you're coming off sounds like you're just like absolutely shitting on Jalen Hurts and he's been to the
I guess
Super
I'm
Bowl.
phrasing it wrong then. I'm not trying to say he's bad.
You
I'm
are
not ready to put him in that conversation with the elite quarterbacks.
like when I said
Either.
Jalen
He's
Hurts
not going to
should
win
be
you a game by himself.
when I said Jalen Hurts should be on the graphic over Jayden Daniels, you thought that was ridiculous, and it
Yeah.
turns out that it wasn't.
No, I don't think you can say that. Jalen Hurts is a much better team. The Eagles are a much, much, much better team than the Commanders are right now.
Right, which is why you put Hurts on that graphic.
No. We're talking about individual players. And I still am not ready to say Jayden Daniels is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts because he's still a rookie.
Yeah, and there's
But
way
going
more
back to my first
stats on Hurts.
conversation,
I am.
when you have 2 minutes on the clock and you need a score, I'd rather have Jayden Daniels than I would Jalen Hurts.
And that's fine. You'll see next year. But um, look, there's obviously a lot to go down. Jalen Hurts is going to be the focal point of the Super Bowl, at least on the Eagles side of the ball.
No, he won't. It's Saquon
Well,
Barkley.
can I finish my take, or are you just ready to fucking try and jump down my throat? I
Oh,
meant in
because
turn
go
what?
ahead.
What?
I'm not going to interrupt you. Go.
No, I just meant like all the eyes are going to be on him to win this game. So I probably phrased it wrong. I should have said focal point, but like the eyes are going to be on him to get this game done. And obviously Saquon Barkley's there as well, but they're going to have to pass the ball. They can't give Saquon 53 carries and hope that they're going to win. Like Jalen Hurts is going to have to play at an elite level, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, he will.
I think that's true. I also think I haven't seen the odds, but I'd be willing to pretty confidently say Saquon Barkley odds to win MVP are going to be better in terms of less than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I could see that. Or being very close, like together.
And I think
But
that's kind of the argument I'm trying to make here is like if you're the
is
leader of
that
your offense, you're going to be the quarterback that's
if
going to win the
Saquon
MVP.
if Saquon Barkley was on the Chiefs, do you
I
think
feel like
Barkley would be higher odds for MVP over Mahomes?
No.
Do you
no.
think it would be flipped? Do you think it would still be
Well,
Mahomes?
to
I
be
mean,
honest,
I
if
think we're really
if
underplaying what the scale of what Saquon's doing here.
yeah, I
Like we
think we
haven't
are.
seen this in a long, long time. I mean, this guy would be above a lot of quarterbacks.
I think we are because if regardless of what team Saquon is on, whatever stat or whatever team he's on, the stat lines that he's putting up in these playoff games, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's second to none. He deserves MVP of the whole damn league right now, let alone the Super Bowl one game. I mean, as far as projections goes, no one's been able to stop him. His line was set at 127 and a half yards.
Yeah.
Tell me the
Insanity.
last time you've seen a rushing yard line set at 127 yards. I don't know the last time I've seen it set over 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
him and Derrick Henry were like the two right around there all year, but they
And
were both insane
Derrick
this year.
Henry up in the 90s, I've seen like 97 and a half even, which is astronomical. 127, nuts. Like Saquon, he's really doing it. Like, I think he should, again, we need to see the odds on, what the line is for
Yeah,
the
I got him. It's Mahomes plus 105, Saquon plus 290, Hurts plus 370,
yeah,
and then
that makes
everyone else
sense. So
is
they
high.
expect the Chiefs to win. So
Well, the
Is
line
there
is
early
on the
lines on it, or
game
what do they got?
right now. The Chiefs are only favored by 1.5, but it's
right,
more you're
but
splitting your bet up if you're betting MVP on the Eagles, but the Chiefs you're only betting Mahomes, so that's why it's kind of like that.
oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I still think that they're giving the Chiefs like the edge in those odds there, with the win.
Yeah, they
Because
are.
the winner wins MVP. So,
Yeah.
but
But
look,
yeah,
side note, can we talk about Jason Kelsey for a second? He definitely read the
why?
he definitely read the script and said, "Oh hell no. I'm retiring. There is no shot I'm going back to the Super Bowl just to lose to my brother and that Kermit the Frog looking dude again. I'm out. I'm out. I'm starting a podcast. I'm going on the news shows. I'm not doing going through a whole nother 18 games just to lose to these dudes again."
Yeah, I don't know what day they record and release their podcast, but the opening of their next recording is going to go like triple platinum of Travis just saying, "Don't you wish you would have not retired and we could have played each other again?" And then Jason's going to do his whole gimmick. But yeah, at least people won't have to deal with Mama Kelsey with the split jersey again during media day. And now the focal point can be on Jalen Hurts during media day.
It's just Kelsey. Just what Jack just said was just absolute nonsense. Number one.
Well, you're a
Uh,
script. You're an NFL
What
script guy.
part?
I'm surprised you
What
don't
I
part?
am
agree
an
with me.
NFL script guy, and there could definitely be a script. There probably is a script for this one, but I don't think Kelsey's reading it and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go lose to my brother again and Kermit the Frog, so I'm gonna retire." That's absolute ridiculousness out of you. And look, he retired. He's 35, 36, however old, had a great career.
He could have gone
Got
another year.
got unlucky. He probably didn't, based on the way they collapsed last year. He did not see this team getting to the Super Bowl the following year.
No, but that's
Uh,
but that's
I think he's happy in
Matt, but
retirement.
that's what I'm saying is he
I
did
think
see
he's
this
happy,
coming. He read the script. He saw the
and I'm
Eagles.
telling you, he
He
doesn't have
he
access to it.
he read another 18, 19 games just to go lose to my brother again. I'm not doing that. That's
He,
why he's out.
he didn't see the script, but look, it's fine. It's going to be a fun one. Um, I'm
I
trying
think
to
I have to
think
put $10 on Isaiah Pacheco to win Super Bowl MVP.
why, just because of the odds.
10 to
It
win
always could be like, dude,
$850.
like if it's like not a crazy game and like
2 more weeks
a
to rest up.
defender has like a pick six, like at the end of like game sealing pick six or game winning pick six, like they could get it.
Yeah, the issue is though, like if the Chiefs repeat, Mahomes could win the MVP if he throws 4 interceptions and
Yeah.
he like rushes in one. They're gonna give it to Mahomes for three-peating.
Yeah, they definitely are. I don't know, man. It's we got a lot. We'll ramp up the content for sure, especially with the Eagles being in it. Um, yeah, you guys got anything else you want to hit, cover? It's Views After Dark, a little bit more of a free-flowing show, not as scripted, not as corporate. We're just free-flowing Views After Dark. That's where you get the takes. That's where you get the guys going a little off script.
Yeah, well, Matt, thanks for bringing that up. If we're gonna get off topic here, I gotta ask, what's with the background? I'm missing the mini hoop.
Yeah, I did have the mini hoop going, so and I knew this question was going to get asked. I'm glad you brought it up. But I was in my bedroom. I had a little office set up with the hoop there, and it flows better in my living room because I have the TV with live YouTube TV. A little bit more of a comfortable setup, and like I said, it was convenient to have Sunday Night Football on in the background when we were recording and things like that. I understand the shooting percentage was not good, was not
Right.
very good.
You look like Shaquille O'Neal.
Small sample size, but it wasn't great. I did, and maybe in the spring we'll bring it back. I'll find a way to incorporate it for you guys. But you don't love my graffiti piece from my uncle gifted it to me from one of his graffiti guys, and the guy did a pretty good job.
So that was my follow-up question. We've no mini hoop anymore. I understand the struggles from the line. We're gonna, take the off season to practice, get back in
That's
the
fine.
gym, get some good numbers coming next season. But what is the monkey graffiti looking thing over here?
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Wait, you think it's a monkey?
Those look
No,
like
it's like
monkeys.
it's like
I think it's subway
faces.
seats.
Yeah, it's I
Are
don't
those
know.
eyes with tongues?
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's eyes. It's eyes with
Oh,
tongues.
I
It's
thought it
eyes
was.
with
I thought they were
tongues.
subway seats.
Yeah, no, it's eyes with tongues, and the guy did a really good job. If you guys were here in person, you'd probably be able to see it better. I don't want to get the camera up and start pointing it at the
no,
thing,
you're
but you
good. I mean,
guys,
it looks cool. I don't know what it is.
yeah, I think it's faces. But this guy does work all over. Like this is it's just like faces and graffiti art, man. Like this guy's like a hardcore graffiti, street guy in NYC. And that's, my uncle has a bunch of his artwork and, obviously knew that I moved in to a new apartment. So it was a nice housewarming or apartment warming gift. Um, so yeah, that's the story on that. Um, to kind of wrap up the basketball shooting, the percentages weren't there. Thought it would have went a little smoother, small sample size, but ultimately I got the TV out here as well, so we moved setups, and I think it's kind of a win-win for myself.
All right. I'm gonna want to see you back in the gym, but
If you're listening, make sure to watch the YouTube so you can see this subway seat
Yeah,
slash faces graffiti.
yeah, it
Okay.
looks good, man. It's a nice touch to the
Subway
apartment.
eats, dude. Like,
It's not Subway seats, dude.
what are you on?
It's yeah, like are you tripping, Sack? It's like faces, man. I guess I could see that's what I was saying. Like I'd have to I could see where Brian would get that from, but why would I have a picture of subway seat graffiti art
I don't
in my
know.
room?
Could be like the SEPTA seats.
Yeah. Nah, it's this guy's from New York, so it would be probably New York based, but yeah, man. Thanks for the inquiry on my wall art and appreciate us looping it in. Yeah, I know you guys got rocking backgrounds with the Jaguars and Brian just really going pro podcast guy with the background and updating. We can call it. You should just get a whiteboard, man, but maybe that'll come down the line.
It is a
You,
whiteboard. It's
oh,
a terrible whiteboard.
I thought those pieces of paper you were hanging up there.
No, it's a $7 whiteboard.
Oh my God, yeah, dude, I had no idea. I thought you were like writing on like piece of printer
No,
paper and like throwing it up there. I was like, gonna be like, dude,
that'd be
Brian,
very wasteful.
you're gonna
Have you never seen him like erase it and write a new one in like the beginning?
nah, I never saw him Never saw him up there. And
That's great.
yeah, usually, and if Brian is up there, he's usually like blocking it on camera. So I just like never saw. But yeah, no, I was gonna say you would have had a lot of the environmentalist activists, whoever those people are that get fired up about the environment. You would have had them all rattled. So
Yeah, it would have
glad
been
we
very
can clean
wasteful.
that up and get you out of the dark light there. But anything else, fellas? I don't know what we want to talk about. We're obviously going to have content rolling for the next 2 weeks. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl. I'm pretty pumped up about it. We'll let you know through our socials how pumped up I am about it. And yeah, it's a big game, but I'm going to enjoy the next 2 weeks. Seeing specifically Brian terrified that the Philadelphia Eagles could win a Super Bowl. I mean, it's realistic. I don't know if it's hit me that hard yet, but holy shit, like my football team that I support for the last 27 years of my life is headed to New Orleans to take all the Chiefs at a shot to win the Super Bowl. It'll hit or kick in this week. That's why they give the 2 week pause. But yeah, Brian, I hope you have a great week thinking about that, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't want the Eagles to win, but I'm gonna have a lot of angry Giants fans and sports fans in general coming at me here. But like, it's not that I think I'm a little indifferent about seeing them win again. It was important to me when they didn't have one because it was funny that you guys never had a Super Bowl. Now it's like, yeah, it wouldn't be fun, but also Saquon would get one, and I'd have to deal with you. So like that's kind of a trade-off, but like I I don't know. It's not like when I was
Not
a
a,
kid when I'm like, this team sucks. I hate the Eagles. I hate everything about the Eagles. It's like, yeah, I hate a lot of their fans. I hate seeing you guys all say go birds and stuff, but like I don't know. It's like okay, they won. Life still goes. Like it sucks, but just
I
me
I
growing
hate the
as
Eagles
a person.
fan. I hate the Eagles fan who kept on going Eagles Eagles and couldn't
That was
spell
the
it right.
mayor.
as a
Well, there was
mayor.
also a fan that I was listening to scream it at the Kick and Chicken today, as I was trying to
The
watch
kicking chicken.
the Kick and Chicken. It's a great
Chicken,
chicken
dude.
spot, like a Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm trying to watch it with my friends, and this dude keeps on spelling Eagles wrong. He's in a Cooper DeJean jersey. He's got a face tat of like a cross right here. I'm like, bro, go back
That's
to Philly.
wild.
Go back to
What
Philly. Who invited you
the
here?
hell is he doing down there?
Thick accent. I was like, yo, is Matt here? What is going on right now?
Dog, my
Yeah,
accent.
maybe I'm just
I
too
don't
far
think I have a
removed from those
crazy
people.
accent.
You don't, but Philly's Philly.
I know what you mean though. Like some of those guys have like crazy thick Delco accents and the whole 9 yards. But yeah, man. Brian's gonna play this like he doesn't care if the Eagles win, even though 2 days ago we had I'm cooking up the almighty anti-Eagles parlay for
Well, I'm
the
still gonna
Super
do that.
Bowl,
I'm
but
still
Brian
gonna do
doesn't give a
that.
shit.
Anti-Eagles parlay
It's
is
not that I
back,
don't give a
baby.
shit. It's that like I'm not gonna be sad if they win. It'll be annoying because I'll have to deal with you, and I'll have to deal with all the our Eagles fans' friends, and I'll have to deal with them having another trophy. But I'm not gonna be actively angry if they win the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Because I'll be
2017, you were actively angry.
not angry, but I was upset. I
I
was
think
upset that they finally got one.
I like the way you said that, Brian. Because like I'm not going to be happy that the Chiefs win it. I'm not going to be happy that the Eagles win it. But I wouldn't. The only team who would win it that would make me like pissed off, like actually upset, is the Texans. So I think I understand what you're saying here. Like, we don't like the Eagles, but they win it. It's not the end of the world. We deal with it.
Yeah, if the Cowboys or Niners won, that would like infuriate me. Last year when the Chiefs beat the Niners was like the biggest relief of like everything. Um, but now, the Chiefs are starting to approach that like, all right, I don't need to see them win anymore. And I just don't care about the Giants because they've been so incompetent for the last
I
however
think
many
that's part of
years.
it with me
Yeah.
now. It's like we've been so bad, it's not even a rivalry anymore.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
like
like
not even a thing. And it's like, yeah. once the rivalry heats up again, maybe that'll
Then
be like
the spark will come back.
the spark will come back. But it's like, dude, like you, it's just been so bad. We've played the Giants at the end of the year, like every season, and that game just like usually never matters.
It hasn't mattered for like the last 5 years.
Like that could be an electric end of year like rivalry game, and it just has never mattered. It's like the backups played this year, so that's how I feel on the Giants.
Brian, you
Yeah.
say it hasn't been competitive for the past 5 years. I'm not too familiar with Giant football. Who's been their quarterback for the past 5 years?
Yeah, all right. Well, we had Tommy DeVito in one of those games. And I didn't say not competitive. There was one that was competitive, and then the Eagles benched their quarterback to bring in Nate Sudfeld, and the Giants didn't make the playoffs. But the Giants were also 7-9 that year, so they didn't deserve to make the playoff. But that was the whole thing. My dad was actually furious about that. I really didn't care because they would have
It's a
given down the
really
first round.
long way of saying Daniel Jones.
Yes, it was Daniel Jones, all right.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, now I'm annoyed. I wasn't annoyed, now I'm annoyed. But there will be a Super Bowl drinking game coming out, so if you're listening on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple and watching on YouTube, please comment on our socials, comment on our YouTubes, any ideas you have. Watch out for that. That'll be coming out the week of the Super Bowl. So next week, we'll have some fun segments due up after football, because football season's over. Can't believe that happened. And
Crazy, blink of an eye. But now the fun sports are back, baby. Daytona 500 in a month. The golf season's ramping up. MLB's right around the corner.
March Madness?
March Madness is there. Well, that's like a main one. I'm talking about the Bridge the Gap sports because I'm the
Slug ball? Slugfest?
slug ball, the Ruben Amaro Jr. contest. The UFL is coming back, or whatever league. The
DC
XFL
Defenders.
Tournament, baby.
Yeah, so all the fun sports are right around the corner. I can't wait to heat it up with the golf and the racing. It'll be a fun stuff, man. That's where you get the juicy long shots. How could you not love it?
You see long shots and we get some 4-400s coming back before we know it.
Yeah, some 4 and 4. I was actually thinking about that today. I have some ideas on some segments we can do. So looking forward to that as well. But we got a Super Bowl to win. We got 2 weeks to glory. To just the city going absolutely nuts. It went nuts tonight, but oh my gosh, winning the Super Bowl. City's going to go berserk. It's going to be like 2017 all over again, maybe a little bit more. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to, I think this week will be calm, like excited for the Super Bowl. Then next week, the nerves will kind of start to settle in. We'll see what happens, man. Eagles are in the Super Bowl the second time in the last 3 years. I got nothing else for y'all. I'll see you midweek.
You don't want to be a commie against the number 26. Soviet Union fell on December 6th. The Commanders fell on January 26th against Saquon Barkley, who was number 26.
Liam Coen, welcome to Duval, baby.
What did Brian just say?
I have no idea what Brian just said.